Hello, my name is Hubert,
My name is Anita.
and today we're going to explain to you how to set up a small home network or business home network, small business home network. So, we're going to explain to you what equipment you're going to need and how you're going to configure and set up your network.
Okay, the equipments we use for small network connections are hard drive, CD with the Windows OS, Raspberry Pi, SD card, USB hub, router and switch, and Wi-Fi adapter.
As my partner explained, the equipment we use, the hard drive, the purpose was to install uh, Windows OS on one of the lab machine, and the CD provided contained the operating system, and we had one Raspberry Pi with the SD card that contained Raspbian, which is the Linux version most commonly used for Raspberry Pi. So those are the necessary equipment. So most importantly is the router. Some routers provide both the switch and the access to the internet. So, but we use both the switch and a router.
Okay. To set up Raspberry Pi, we connect Ethernet cable. We connect USB keyboard and mouse. We insert the SD card with the Raspbian with Raspberry Pi, and lastly, we connect power adapter which turn on Raspberry Pi.
For the Windows part, with the CD and the hard drive provided by the instructor, Dr. Lamar, we inserted the CD to the computer and the hard drive, and we power on the computer. We went to the setup. We changed our boot sequence to start with the CD, and we save our settings, reboot the computer, and then start again. And we boot from the CD, install the Windows operating system on the hard drive, and then once Windows operating was loaded, we connected to the switch, and then we set up the router next.
For for router and switch connection, at first we connect power adapter to switch, then we connect Ethernet cable from Raspberry Pi and Windows machine with the switch. Then we connect switch to the router. For the router setup, we connect power adapter to the router. We use one of the running computer to access web browser to set up router.
In order to configure our, in order to access our router configuration page, we went to a web browser from one of the computer we set up, and we type the IP address 192.168.0.1. So you gotta make sure you know your router manufacturer. The IP address might be different, so check with your router before you set up or before you type any address, because if you type the wrong address, the configuration page will not appear, as we struggled with that before. And also make sure the Ethernet cable from the switch to the router leaves the switch from the Ethernet port, because there are different port, the Ethernet port. I'm sorry. So there are different port, and there's one specific port from the switch that connects the switch to the router. So if you connect the router to a different port and the switch, you're not gonna get the internet. So make sure you set up correct.
Okay. After connecting a Raspberry Pi to switch to router, the next step was IP configuration. Then we set up gateway address, subnet masks, DNS, and host. We set up router DSCP so that IP address will given automatically.